Jerry Mallory here for SB Nation and PrideDetroit.com. Lions preseason game number 1 is just a few days away. Football is coming. I know it's just the preseason, but I get excited because football is about to take place in the Motor City August 10th. That's this Friday at 7:30. The Lions will be taking on the Cleveland Browns inside of Ford Field. Now, the preseason, although it doesn't count, there are things that we want to see. And we're going to highlight 3 things that we want to see happen here at Pride Detroit for this game. Now, first and foremost, we want health. That's a given. We want this team and even the Cleveland Browns, to have a healthy 4 quarters, no major injuries, and that way, this full potential that we're trying to see for this team can be realized without any setbacks. So there are other things about this game that's interesting. You've got Brandon Weeden. He's the 50-year-old rookie quarterback. He'll be making his NFL debut. He has been mentioned as the starter. Will Ndamukong Suh greet him the same way that he greeted another young Cleveland Browns quarterback and Colt McCoy in the preseason? Was that the reason Colt McCoy just hasn't panned out? Will it happen to Brandon Weeden? We'll have to wait and see. And then we have a lot of new guys that we're looking forward to seeing get on the field. And we get to see that laser arm of Matt Stafford and Megatron do what they do, even if it's in a limited basis. So, without any further delay, let's get right into it. Let's look at the 3 things that we want to see and highlight for Game 1, Cleveland Browns versus our Detroit Lions.
At number 3, it's the Detroit Lions defensive line and the Gray Package. No doubt you have either heard of or seen the movie The Gray. In it, we have a pack of hungry, angry, vicious, and smart wolves wreaking havoc on humans. Gunther Cunningham, realizing that the wide 9 defense at times was predictable, has decided to mix things up, and he is giving that mix-up a name. It's known as the Gray Package. With this package, we will get a chance to see things such as Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley lining up as defensive ends, with Sammy Lee Hill and Corey Williams in the middle. We may see Cliff Averill standing up at times. We may see Kyle Vanden Bosch inside. All in all, this scheme is predicated on aggression, confusion, and outsmarting your opponent. Many similarities to the wide 9, with the exception of that unpredictability. The defense have to think once, twice, 3 times, and hopefully it will be so much confusion and aggression to where we can see a spike in production from that unit. At number 2, it's the secondary. Last year, the secondary, especially once injuries started to come in, really suffered. The last few games of the year were absolutely abysmal, atrocious, whatever negative adjective you want to use, that's what our secondary was. Well, this year it's time to redeem themselves with help, as well as some new faces like Eric Coleman, Bill Bentley, and Jacob Lacey. Hopefully they can look solid to serviceable at best. If not, the Lions may be in for another long season in terms of how much they give up in the passing game. These guys are somewhat unknown commodities. We've seen some of them in action, but we're looking forward to seeing what they can give us in glimpses, not just our starters, but the second and third units, because when injuries start to come in, these will be the players that will be in the forefront. And number 1 is the running game, particularly Michael LaShore. Now, there's no guarantee that he's even going to play in preseason game number 1. He hasn't practiced in quite some time. We all hope that he does. Let's face it, we have not seen him in any type of action. We haven't seen him in preseason. We haven't seen him in regular season. When the season begins, he will be suspended for 2 games. We want to see Michael LaShore in action and play effective. We've heard about what he's done at practice, what he's done at training camps, what he's done at OTAs. We've heard comparisons of Steven Jackson and other known running backs. We're all sick and tired of it. We want to see what he can do on the field, so hopefully he plays. But even if he doesn't, there's a lot to look forward to in the running game. Kevin Smith getting the big load as of right now. Javid Best will not be playing. Stephon Logan maybe being his replacement for the time being as your speed back. And then Joy K. Bell and Keelan Williams hopefully stepping up. But by and large, we're hoping that it is Michael LaShore who does play and plays well, because the future of our running game at this moment rests on him.
I'm sure many of you are getting more and more excited, just like I am, because we're getting closer and closer to NFL action, even if it's on a preseason basis. And I cannot wait. Where will you be? Will you be watching it at home? Or do you have to work? Will you be there in the house? I will be there, fortunately. Looking at the ticket here, I'll be in section 336, row 10, seat 12. There it is. I will be in the house. Hey, if you happen to see me, say what's up. As a fellow fan, I love chopping it up with Lions fans. If you're listening to and watching and reading Private Troy, I know you're a big-time fan. So stop by and say hey to the old boy, G. Mal. I have my Stafford jersey on, and we can have a good time. So, what are your thoughts about the preseason? What are you looking forward to seeing? Do you think these things will happen? Will Mikel Ashore even play? You know what to do. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have not subscribed, I will forgive you this one last time, but you better subscribe now or else. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and until next time, this has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation and PrivateDetroit.com.